Welcome students of Form 1, 1A and 1B. This video is about social interaction, paragraph 2.1, part 3, and especially indiscipline in groups. We talked about cohesion as such, but we're now going to talk about more about cohesion in those same groups. Sorry, gotta correct my dog. Yes? So indiscipline, it means that people are not well cohesed, they not work together well, they not listen to each other, not listen to the leader. They don't have the purpose and the goal of the group in mind. Yes, if there's weak cohesion, there is a lot of indiscipline within the group. Yes, those are related. Weak cohesion or low cohesion leads to indiscipline actually. Yes, so low cohesion means like in the sports team, when football players go fight with each other or argue with each other, they're not aimed at one direction, not aimed at winning the game. And also in a baseball team, the same thing can happen. When you see these pictures, you see there that there is low or weak cohesion. It means actually the same, these two things. Yes, and also in a group, when of course it's normal to argue together, to have a discussion, but when there's constant friction, people do not work together well, they don't like each other, there's no good connection, like most of the time we have low cohesion, low connection, and there's a lot of friction together. There's no connection, but there's friction. There are arguments, disagreements, and people do not work together well. Well, we know cohesion. What was it again? Yes, when we think about cohesion, yes, then we know that group cohesion describes the bonds or connection that draw people together and keeps them together. Yeah, the queda and the junto, yeah, and the bonds, a connection, it a queda and the junto, and keeps them together. And a number of factors help, assist, support strong cohesion within groups. So that also means when those factors are absent, this leads to weak and absent cohesion. Yes, this diminishes the cohesion actually. So when these factors are not there, when these factors are actually absent, you also have, as a consequence, you have actually weak or absent cohesion. These factors being absent leads to low or weak cohesion as a consequence of this. We talked about a common goal. A common goal is often a reason why people form a group. Esta kita hay razón de con gente forma un grupo junto. Other people who agree with them with the goal are then free or welcome to join the group. Being um, being motivated, motivar para lograr a meta helps ayuda con cohesión de con it focuses, enfocar en mente de gente. Es kita enfocar en mente de gente. Diba un meta, one goal. Es aquí enfocar die mente de gente. E miembro non di grupo aquí. Yes, it focuses it. So why are we doing this? If you don't know, you will have weak or low group cohesion. If you have no common goal, you don't have any strong group cohesion. The group cohesion is weak if you don't have that. Yes, and for instance, in the NBA, you can have great players, LeBron James and the Son and the Beard and others. But if those guys do not, Donnie LeBron, I think is called, but when they don't have any focus, when they don't have a common goal, or if the goal is not clear, the goal is vague, a meta vague, you don't have strong group cohesion and you don't have a good basketball team. Besides that, also effective leadership is important. Yes, a leader that listens, a leader that can keep the group together, can achieve goals. If members feel that the leadership is ineffective, not effectivo, or not being listened to, il leader no te attende na e miembro nan di e gruppo aquí, yeah, il leader no te attende bon, then they will not be motivated to take part. And we've seen motivation and focus is very important for cohesion within a group. Yes, they will not be motivated if the leader does not listen and if the leader does not achieve the goals with the group, is not able to lead effectively. Yes, then great leaders like Barack Obama or people who do their best in leading are also leading the country, like Gilmore Pisas. They need to listen to the people they govern. They need to listen to the people in their group, else they will not have an effective leadership. Yes, and without motivation, you have demotivation, and that this causes a low, and you're guessing it, a low cohesion or a weak cohesion. Yes, so demotivation in full, demotivation creates again a low cohesion or a weak cohesion. And good leaders, like you see here, go stand within their people, they listen to the people, they respond to the people, and the people that they govern have the feeling that they are listened to. Like for instance, during the beach lagoon, the people didn't like what was built there, and Gilmar Pisas went to listen to the people, organize reunions, meetings with the people to listen to them, and he adapted his plans. That is effective leadership. Authority. Authority means that the other members of the group give them the right, yes, or give them the power or the opportunity to make certain decisions on their behalf. Yes? So one person has the power, yeah, I've got the power, has the power to make certain decisions on their behalf, or ask them to carry out certain actions. So a leader is someone who is given the authority by the people within his group. Without the people in his group, he cannot be a leader. He cannot be a leader. If he doesn't get the authority of his group, they give him the power to make certain decisions, but not for himself, on their behalf. So the leader makes decisions to make the group better. Para il gruppo mio. Yeah? Il leader tem responsabilidade para il gruppo, para escolher coisas não bom para il gruppo aqui. Yes? If the authority is abused, so abuse is like not correctly using something, or a leader fails to use his or her authority to address an issue, so he doesn't solve anything actually, the problem isn't solved, then problems may arise, and you're guessing it already, this also causes low or weak cohesion within a group. Yes? So if a leader abuses his power, for instance, he grabs some money that actually belongs to the group, or the group doesn't agree with what the decisions that the leader makes, or the leader creates a disagreement within the group, then the cohesion of the group can weaken or become less and less. Yes, that could be a consequence of weak leadership. Then one of the last ones, I have like 2 slides to go, so this video will take some 2 minutes more. Some patience. Control. Yes, there has to be some control of the leader over the group. Yes, so even in an informal group that's not formal, not official, like a friend group or a group that like meets to play basketball in an informal way outside, or a group that goes hiking to work on their physical condition, even in an informal group there will be unwritten, or in other words, unofficial rules. So rules that are not written down, but everybody feels them. Yeah, porque por Sinti reglanan aquí. Yes, not written down, no escribí, pero henata Sinti es aquí. Rules that define the sort of behavior, comportación, that people in the group expect. Down expectación. Expectación para comportación para el grupo, para gente en grupo. Yes, they're not written down, these rules, but everybody in the group knows this is what you can do, and everybody in the groups knows these things you cannot do. Yeah, know the rules. Yes, for instance, everybody know in a group you're honest towards each other about important things. Yes, and you don't steal from each other. These are rules that everybody feels, rules that everybody knows within friend groups or informal groups. You don't do these things. Yeah? You don't have to write them down. Everybody knows these things. And when these things happen within the group, the cohesion within the group is weakened. It can be strong, but the moment that something like this happens within a group, people become less loyal to each other, less connected to each other, and the cohesion of the group becomes weakened, more weak, yeah, and more loose and less strong. So this has big consequences for a group. Cooperation. The shared sense of achievement leads to an even stronger cohesion. If a group splits into different factions, different smaller groups, and there is a lack of cooperation, yeah, people do not work together anymore, yes, different factions, different smaller groups, and there is a lack of cooperation, people do not work together anymore, it is less likely to achieve its aims, yes, and it's more likely to break up together. Different factions, yeah, different smaller groups like you see here, and you see here, yes, and there's a lack of cooperation, like these people cooperate, but here's one person alone, doesn't know what he's doing, and these people are like arguing together. Yes, so the group fractions into multiple fractions, yeah, multiple factions actually. There's a fragmentation with a difficult academic word. There's a lack of cooperation, and because of that, the group is more likely to break up into different parts. Yes, because if you don't have any achievement, yeah, you don't have any cohesion, yeah, and the group breaks up into different pieces, parti antichi, la kibra din parti antichi, din gruppo antichi, gruppo non individual, yes, and people do not work together anymore. There's a lack of cooperation, then it's more likely to break up actually in the end, yes, and breaking up is like the lowest level of cohesion that you can actually have. Yes? So cooperation, when it's absent, when there are no shared goals, when people do not work together at all, when people become smaller and smaller groups, divided into different factions, yes, that's a very weak and very low cohesion that you have left. And if this happens within a basketball or baseball team, yeah, this isn't a good development because I said cohesion is like a very important element of each group if you want it to achieve its goals. Yes, that's very important. So we talked about community interaction, especially social interaction, paragraph 1. Part 3, with a focus on when is there indiscipline in groups and when is the cohesion weakened. Yes, when is there indiscipline in group and which consequences do low and weak cohesion have for groups. Yes, and we talked about low cohesion and weak cohesion. Yes, for instance, in groups, football groups or baseball groups or in functional groups, how does it start and what does it lead to? What kind of words can you use for it? I hope this video was helpful. If you want to subscribe, if you want to have a message of new videos, if you want to ask questions, ask them below. But you can also do that during class, and I wish you a nice evening, like it is in this video, or a nice morning or a nice afternoon, whenever you watch this video.